dedication, courage, and the commitment of their lives here and abroad, so that we may be here safe and home and be able to exercise our rights as citizens. Lastly, I'd like to thank all of you. Thank you for standing up, being aware, and fighting not only for your rights and freedoms, but for those around the globe as well. You all deserve a giant round of applause. Yeah! Now today, Eric has told you guys about how Monsanto has completely infiltrated our political system. And you will hear from Casey about how the science behind these genetically modified organisms and how they work. You've heard of exactly what makes them dangerous and hazardous, not only to us, but on the Earth as well. Now, I would like to extend our focus now onto a few of the chemicals that Monsanto produces. For those of you that know me personally, and I'm happy to see you guys out here, you know that I've been learning and fighting evil on a chemical called aspartame for a very long time. It started back in high school, more years ago than I care to admit. And I had an English assignment, and we had to pick a product and then explain it. I couldn't sleep well. I don't know if that was a stroke of God or whatever happened, it fell in my lap, but literally that's what started the fire. Because once I did my due research on it, well, it really wasn't much. I just had to turn the package over. And I read the back of it, and it says this is a product that's known to cause cancer in laboratory animals. It said it right there. It freaked me out. I got to think, laboratory animals, mammals, humans. What are we eating?
That's right.
What are we eating? And the bad thing about aspartame, just this here, because I know a lot about aspartame. It's evil shit. It really is. Okay, listen. By now, I've set with you, guided you, and promoted research. I'm very happy that you guys took this serious and now understand a lot of things that aspartame and human brain developed. Now let's have a little history lesson on aspartame. Aspartame was discovered in 1965 by one James M. Slatter, a chemist working for E.E. Sterling. Now Slatter had synthesized aspartame in the intermediate step in generating basically it's a hormone gastrin for the use of anti-ulcer medication. So that's originally what aspartame was. He didn't even know it was sweet or could be used as sweetener until he touched his finger on the paper that was on and happened to wipe his lip. And so that was an accident. He had no idea. He just said, "Oh, this stuff is really super sweet. Oh my God, this is great." So then they tried to do several things after the next, like 20 years. They tried to market. Well, the FDA kept saying, "We're testing it. We're seeing some things wrong with it. We're seeing it maybe causes cancer, maybe it doesn't. So we're going to say it's okay, but we're not going to approve it right now." But that just gave them more room to start doing more research or making up more research, if you will. So that's what they're really fond of doing. And then in 1985, Monsanto purchased them. The whole company, TV show company, 1985. And now aspartame is found in over 6,000 products. And millions of people consume it daily without even knowing how dangerous it is. A lot of people, this drug is blamed for 90 different adverse health effects from weight gain, joint pain, to insomnia, to brain cancer, chronic weight gain, keep that microwave, seizure, memory loss, and multiple sclerosis, to name a few, and not to mention the friend found in highly addicted. Think about it. And I'm sure you guys can think of a few people that you know in your own lives who are addicted. And if you've ever seen them go without, then you probably witnessed the withdrawal firsthand. It's not great at all. And I've got members of my family that I have educated on this, and bless their hearts, they tried, and they couldn't do it. They gave it a 7-day challenge, and their lives were rapidly right in front of them. Over diet now. My own mother, diet Dr. Pepper. We got diabetes too. We'll get into that too. Now, Monsanto secured the patent on aspartame, and that was all they needed to begin mass production and start selling to the world. Now they did this by claiming that sugar, which one our bodies process naturally, was bad and was directly related to weight gain and diabetes as well as other health issues. So basically, they put forms on sugar, okay? And they did that by putting it out in the media. And now, us being the sheeple that we are, unfortunately, we've been taught to believe everything that comes from that box. If it comes from that box, if it's a news person saying it, then it's true. We'll accept that stronger than we'll accept the word of the Bible. That's no joke. So, by taking out sugar and putting aspartame, they market it now as a diet supplement. And trust me, nothing can be further from the truth. There's absolutely nothing diet about it. So they market it as a diet supplement and inject it in soda, and the masses, being scared by propaganda put out to get them behind this, make it a staple in their everyday life. And it hurts me to no end when I'm in the store and some squeaky-toed, morbidly obese person steps up to the cashier with a whole cart full of fatty foods, and then right on top, you see a 12-pack of Diet Coke. And that's how dangerous this stuff is. It gets into people's minds. It actually makes them think that it's okay. I can go to McDonald's, I can go to McGMO, wherever I'm going to go, and I can just wolf down burger after fry after fry, and wash it down with a nice cold Coke. And I'm going to walk away scot-free. It horribly saddens me because you see this. We all see this. If you don't have to go very far, you can go to your nearest fast food joint. You're going to witness this. I promise you that. I have actually taken the opportunity to take people aside when I see that and say, look, I don't care if you're chucking down 20 burgers. That's fine. Go ahead. You know, if that's your deal, get after it. But you ordered a diet soda. Other than the fact that it's blatantly ironic that you would consume 3 pounds of burger and then wash it down with a Diet Coke. We need to talk. There's some dangerous stuff in there, you know what I'm saying? So I take the opportunity to educate. Now, let's see here. It says, anytime you see diet or life, please turn around and find something else. Not that I do this all the time, but I warned folks several times in the store. Some have listened, others have laughed and said they're better off not knowing. And they walked away. Now, please don't think I post up at the end of every soda aisle with the intention of doing this, but I do, like I said, take the opportunity to educate folks when the opportunity presents itself. And that's how we spread it, by people opening their mouths, by doing what we're doing right now. You know,
that's right.
They're not going to give it to us, guys. They're not going to pass out that information, and sadly enough, our own political structure is not going to do it either. Because, as Eric has pointed out, and he just touched on it, do your research. He touched on just a few of the people that were related, that were in Monsanto, and now they aren't related to government. Okay? That's scary. Now, I want to touch on something for just a minute. You guys know that I just said some people said they're better off not knowing. Right? Well, I call it ostrich syndrome. Some folks just pump their heads in the sand and pretend that the outside world doesn't exist. Well, folks, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but ignorance doesn't stop disease. Ignorance does not stop corruption. And ignorance doesn't stop death.
That's right.
In fact, ignorance facilitates all of this. Whether you're aware or not, the damage and abuse is still occurring. And make no mistake, Monsanto wants us to be ignorant. And they are not happy at all that we are all becoming aware.
That's right.
They're not like that one day. Fact is, aspartame kills, plain and simple. It causes cancer. That's not all. Little known fact about aspartame. When the temperature of aspartame exceeds 86 degrees Fahrenheit, the wood alcohol aspartame basically converts back to its acidic form to wood alcohol. Okay, and that right there converts to formaldehyde and then to formic acid. If you don't know what formic acid is, that's the poison found in yeast. Fire. And the methanol toxicity mimics multiple sclerosis as people are being diagnosed with having multiple sclerosis in error. Multiple sclerosis is not precedence, but methanol toxicity is.
Yeah.
Sure is. Now, in the case of systemic lupus, which is another thing that we can find, it becomes almost as rampant as multiple sclerosis, especially with diagnosis. Now, also with methanol toxicity, the victims usually drink 3 to 4 12-ounce cans a day, and some even more. And in cases of the systemic lupus, which is triggered by aspartame, the victim usually does not know that the aspartame is potent. They have no idea. So they go into the doctor and saying, hey, I got all this jazz, and the doctors are, they're not even asking them, are you imbibing aspartame? Are you drinking aspartame? No, they don't even ask them what they drink. They just treat it like, oh, it's MS. Let's pump them full of drugs. It's a lot of drugs they really don't need. Here's something funny though. When we get people off of aspartame, and like I said, I've witnessed this several times. I've watched people go through the change. I've even sat with them when they suffer with their addiction. And I kept them going. I kept them pumped up. I know you can do this. You have to do this. Your life depends on it. Children's life depends on it. This stuff is going to kill you. It's going to hurt. What happens is once they stop drinking this stuff, all of a sudden, all the systemic lupus, everything else, all their conditions become asymptomatic at that point. They can go away. And then they come back and they're like, you know what, dude? I can't imagine how good I feel. And I'm like, because you're not drugging yourself. Yeah. You're not eating poison. You're doing what's right. And then they say, thanks, John. I say, you're welcome. Thank you for helping me.
Yeah. That's right.
Now, if you're using aspartame, you can see equals food bill, etc. and you suffer from fibromyalgia, spasms, shooting pains, numbness in your legs, cramps, vertigo, dizziness, headaches, tinnitus, joint pain, depression, anxiety attacks, slurred speech, blurred vision, or memory loss, you probably have some kind of asthma pain.
That's right.
So, my biggest point about this whole thing is I have been laughed out of grocery stores before. I've been laughed out of friends' homes, especially the ones that were so highly addicted to it and they couldn't see it. Now, years later, these people are now realizing they've done their research, they're realizing, oh man, I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble here. And so they're calling me. Am I going to forgive them for kicking me out? Hell yes, I am. Hell yes, I am. Because I and all of us are bigger than that. If somebody disagrees with us, it's not an opportunity to kick them in the balls and send them down the road. It's an opportunity to educate, or at least be patient until they're ready to be educated.
That's right.
And that's how we do it. Spread awareness, we talk, speak, stand up. We ask questions, we demand answers.
Yeah!